Do y'all acknowledge the king of the luchadors, Daddy Dom, and still Intercontinental Champion? Dom's love affair with the timekeeper's hammer must be studied because he retains by tricking Rusev into thinking Penta submitted on Saturday Night Main Event, and then Penta hit Rusev with the timekeeper's hammer as well. Dom should just permanently keep a timekeeper's hammer. That was ingenious, and I want to see more of his antics to come because just to ring the bell, just to think someone won in the ring, is pretty ingenious, and that is really smart. Hella smart. He just keeps adding layers, and I'm actually liking that his opponents are getting wise to it. You do see that during the match with Rusev and Penta as well. They're wise to his game, and that should keep going too. Like as much as Dom keeps doing all these cheating antics, his opponents should start figuring things out and anticipating what he's going to do, so he has to think of something new. And I actually like dichotomy there. He's trying to do his cheating, his opponent's getting wise to his cheating, so he has to keep thinking of new things to do, and it just doesn't get stale while he's doing the exact same thing over and over again. So that at least this keeps Dom's antics and his opponents fresh when it comes to cheating tactics. Like I said, now that I have been given a week to chew on what's been going on Monday Night Raw, I'm going to go over it a little bit more here too during this live. I'm not going to go over everything. I put out a video where I explained some things on YouTube. Go check it out. I will also be previewing Monday Night Raw. In this one, we pretty much know what Judgment Day is doing, and it's going to be a big night for Judgment Day. So I'm going to be going over that, seeing what I think could happen and what's happening around Roxanne, all of them, and Judgment Day as well. So let's get into it, shall we? We're going to start off with Saturday Night Main Event. Overall, this event was pretty good. It was good, but it wasn't great. And it wasn't great due to some people, hint, hint, Jey Uso, who can't wrestle worth his life. Like, that dude needs to give. I don't know what's going on with Jey Uso, but I was 4 for my predictions. I predicted Cody, I predicted Jade, I predicted Dom, and I predicted CM Punk to win their matches, and they did. Kicking things off, we're going with Cody versus Drew. Drew had goaded Cody into not having the championship advantage in this match, so it was like going to be a regular straight up match until Drew goaded Cody into giving that up during SmackDown yesterday. Cody wins when he did the crossroads on Drew onto the championship belt. This was a decent match. Drew is being made to look like a geek. He can't win the big one, and I don't like that for him. I think he's much better than that, but they just don't give him the belt. I keep saying Homelander Cody Rhodes is coming, but I really think it is because this dude is just doing more and more cheating type stuff. And he doesn't even have the excuse of Dom where he will just do anything just to win, and we expect that out of Dom. Cody is different. He's like the quarterback, all American boy. He's the ultimate baby face that's not supposed to do that. So seeing Cody Rhodes starts going into this territory of cheating, using things to his advantage, it's really interesting, and I'm really hoping we do get Homelander Cody Rhodes pretty soon. And then we had Jade versus Tiffany for the WWE Women's title. This was basically a glorified squash match. Jade just pretty much manhandled Tiffany pillar to post, and she wins the title. And I have to ask, did Tiffany really need an injury, kayfabe injury, to cover her loss here? Why couldn't she just lose straight up? I mean, I guess this was the problem of having Tiffany win at, what was that, SummerSlam? Went just cleanly like that, so I guess they had to put this injury in, but they could have just had it where Jade is in this new heel character and she just wins just by tapping into that side and just manhandling her. Tiffany did not need an injury just to protect her. She already had a whole win-loss league where she hadn't lost until Crown Jewel last month, so she didn't really need to be protected here. But Jade wins. I'm glad the title is off Tiffany because that title run was getting to be ass. Hopefully they can do something with Jade, but they really need some faces and just more women in general to challenge women's champions on SmackDown. It's getting ridiculous. It's bare bones over there. They need to call some people up post haste. And then, before I get into Dom, we had CM Punk versus Jey for the vacant World Heavyweight Championship. This match was ass. Seriously. I don't know what was wrong with Jey Uso, but this wasn't it. He just pretty much showed us why he should not be in the main event scene. CM Punk wins after a really badly done GTS, and I don't want Jey to be in the main event scene any longer. I keep thinking about how this would have been if Jimmy had this opportunity. Jimmy, who can actually wrestle and can talk. If that was Jimmy in there, I'm sure we would have got a better match. I keep saying he's the better twin, and I am really tired of how he's been treated. So to see Jey in there, get in there, and pretty much fuck it up and just be ass in this match, it was just not good. Dominik could have been a better opponent for CM Punk here. And we could have actually kicked off one of their feuds that they keep trying to do, that we keep seeing on the live event scene. They could have just threw Dom in there. Him losing here wouldn't have hurted him because he would still be the Intercontinental and Mega Champion. And we could have seen all kinds of antics and stuff. And then CM Punk wins. And then we could have a more involved match where people were invested in it. Jey is ass. Just ass. I don't know what's happened with Jey. He doesn't need to touch the main event scene for a while. He needs to step back. He needs to go do some bloodline stuff with Roman or whatever. And I'm not about to feel sorry for Jey when they had that camera shot of him looking up at CM Punk with the title because Jey already had the title, and you should be sad about it. You ain't Roman Reigns, dude, where Roman Reigns had lost the title and or he had just been pinned after so long and he's just upset about it. This is not the exact same thing. And then we get into Dom versus Penta versus Rusev for the Intercontinental Championship. This was a great match. Dom would try different tactics only to be thwarted. So Dom had got the chair and tried to do the Eddie Guerrero chair trick where you toss it to the opponent and he falls down. But then the referee is like, what? This is a triple threat match. That's allowed. And then he ends up getting hit by the chair. And that's what I'm saying. I'm liking how the opponents are just getting wise to him. Even the referees like wise to him. Like, dude, what are you doing? When Rusev had Penta in the Carmel clutch, it's Dom that takes the timekeeper's hammer and rings the bell to make Rusev think that he won by submission. The ref is waving it off. Penta didn't tap. So that means that Rusev had let Penta go to celebrate. So it breaks the hold, and then we see over there, but when the camera spins over there, he's got the timekeeper hammer hitting the bell. And like I said, Dom's love affair with that timekeeper's hammer must be studied. Finish came when Penta went to hit Dom with the timekeeper's hammer again with the hammer. He goes to hit Dom with it. Dom ducks out the way, hits Rusev, and then Dom just pretty much tosses Penta to the ring post and then out onto the where he falls out into the floor. And then Dom hits the frog splash to pin Rusev 1, 2, 3, and he is still your Intercontinental Champion. Now that Dom has beaten them both in the exact same match, can we please move on to other people? Whether that be Cena or anything else, who I'll get into in a moment here, let Doms have some other opponents. He's been locked up with all these other people. There's other fresh people I would rather see. I would rather see Dragon Lee run the block again. I would rather see some of these other young talent get with Dom. I want people that Dom is going to be wrestling with for a while to be involved in these matches. Give Dom a fresher opponent. So, and then at Saturday Night Main Event, we got the announcement that there is going to be a 16-man tournament to determine Cena's last opponent on Saturday Night Main Event in Washington, D.C. This tournament starts 1 week from Monday. So not this coming up Monday, but the next Monday. And it's going to be starting on Raw. And it's going to have Raw Superstars, SmackDown, think they said NXT and some people that aren't even in the company that's going to be in this tournament. And then this is just for the final opponent. Dom was they lingered on Dom in the promo package if you were watching it on Saturday Night Main Event. So it just makes me think Dom is going to be a opponent for Cena, or he's going to be the last opponent for Cena. Hopefully he's the last opponent for Cena, because I am not here for Gunther just to retire another person. He's already retired people already. He retired Goldberg. He's boring as fuck. I'd rather have Ilya. Give me Ilya. I'm gonna have Cena versus Ilya, and Ilya could retire John Cena. I wouldn't have a problem with it because it's Ilya. He's a lot more of a character. Gunther, I'm bored to death with. I don't even like him all that much. Great wrestler, but character wise, he's bland as fuck. So I don't think he needs to be retiring Cena. Like he keeps retiring people, and he's still not on top of the card. So let that go to somebody else that could take a win or even a loss forward here. And let us get into clues and more clues for Monday Night Raw. Like I said, I chewed on this a little bit more. I did put a video out on this a couple of days ago on YouTube. Go check that out. I'm just going to go back over this briefly. This is what I'm just going to be noticing aware, because I've always said Triple H is not subtle. For clues, you need to have context, and just it by itself, having something happen by itself isn't a clue, but when you have the context around it, it makes it a clue and something to pay attention to. Now, what was going on Raw is just pretty much focusing a lot of people around cheating. First with Raquel's line that Dom is a habitual cheater. Now everybody pinged and said that's a hypocrite and he's talking about matches, but we know Dom is not just a cheater in matches. And I would have let that go at face value if Dom had not said, I have never cheated in a day of my life. That's a bald faced lie. You've cheated. So that's just that context that I'm taking here. If Dom didn't say anything or even got mad about Raquel bringing it up, then I could just take that as face value, but I'm not. And then they continue to hammer home the cheating aspect by having Raquel try to cheat on Roxanne's behalf, and then they had Finn cheat by hitting Sheamus with the shillelagh. And then what else did they do? They had Scrap Daddy Adam Pearce getting after Finn and JD for cheating. And then they had Scrap Daddy getting after Dom for cheating because he used El Grande Americano to get out of that, to get the number one contendership match tossed out. So that's just a whole thing of cheating. Now, I'm going to say this. This is not me saying that we're going to get Dom rocks. This is just me saying that they're putting it out there. It's a seed plant. We will have to see in the coming weeks if there's anything else comes up, and I'm suspecting it do, because I do really think that they do have a place for Liv to return, and they need something going so she can be slotted into when she gets back. So, with Dom Rocks, it is not necessarily can have to be romantic. It can be manipulative, or it could be obsessive on Roxanne's side because she's been giving Dom the eyes all this time, and you can't ignore that. You can also have it be where it's a my God, what have I done? Where Dom did do something and he regrets it, or it can be something like it's not what it looks like, where it looks like Dom cheated, but he didn't. There's a whole different there's whole different possibilities here. I am not saying Dom Rocks will happen. I know a lot of people were upset about me trying to say I'm pushing that narrative, but no, I am not. I'm just saying that they're putting that cheating aspect out there for a reason. And if they keep going on Monday Night Raw, then there's your answer. It's going to. We'll have to see more. But if they keep pushing that, then we will know that that's what they're gearing up to do, at least in that realm. And like I said, it doesn't have to be a romantic one. It could be an obsessive one, and that's something kind of what I want to see. People keep saying I want Dom Rocks. No, I do not. I'm not. I don't want Dom Rocks in the sense where it's a simplistic cheating storyline. I don't. I want, if it's going to happen, I want the drama and the messiness to come with that. But what I really want is just either an obsession storyline where Roxanne is channeling her AJ Lee, and we get her version of that because AJ Lee is there on the roster now, or a situation where Dom is manipulating her to his advantage. That's what I want. And that's him channeling old school Eddie Guerrero and that whole manipulative Eddie Guerrero that we got around Dom's custody battle back in 2005. That's what I want. With Dom, if it could be just them fighting against these accusations, maybe Liv is believing Dom over Raquel, and that's what gets Liv and Raquel to split. There's a whole bunch of different possibilities here. It's not just a straight up cheating storyline. And if it is a straight up cheating line, I'm going to be disappointed. But like I said, hey, I'm here for drama and messiness. But it can be spun a whole bunch of different ways. So now, what's going to be happening on Monday Night Raw? We do have Raquel and Roxanne versus Stephanie and Nikki Bella. I do need Raquel and Roxanne to win. I'm not expecting them to win straight up. It needs to be something, another cheating thing, probably. But if it doesn't happen, Raquel and Stephanie to set up things for their feud going forward because Raquel needs to get a feud of her own to get started. And they can do that with this match so Stephanie and Raquel can get things started. And then there's going to be Finn and JD versus Team AJ Lee, which is Dragon Lee and AJ Styles. And they're going in a rematch for the World Tag Team titles. Now, I fully expect Sheamus to come back and cause Finn and JD to lose the titles because Finn still has Sheamus's shillelagh, and I fully expect Sheamus to come back and wanting that back. This will probably kick off a feud between Finn and Sheamus, which will keep Finn occupied for a while. So we might have to wait on that Dom and Finn feud for a while, but I do think this is to show a different side of Finn too, and JD, because JD was at least allowed to show out this past Monday with my Spanish fly on Sheamus. So what I'm hoping for is that they at least allow JD to show out. Finn gets to see some other aspects, and we get a nice feud for him where he's just not angrily looking at Dom the whole time. This is why I say I cover all things Judgment Day, because I want everybody to get something to do. It shouldn't just be Dom. It should not just be Liv. Everybody needs something to do. I like all of these wrestlers. This is why I cover Judgment Day. It is not just Liv and Dom, or it's not just Dom, even though he's my ride or die. What to look out for on Monday Night Raw coming up? We got to see how Roxanne is doing. And with Roxanne, is she going to be still not focusing on her match? Because she's been doing that for these past couple of weeks now. Is she still going to be trying to be going after Dom? Like she's been trying to do. Is Raquel going to stop her, or is she going to, or is it going to be a situation where Raquel thinks she stopped her and Roxanne does something anyway? It's those little things that we need to be looking out for. We need to see who Dom's next opponent will be, or if we're going to be getting like trash talk in the clubhouse where Dom has won and Finn and JD have lost, and then you got that whole rigmarole and probably they'll fight. I kind of want them to just gotta get to fighting, give them an argument. You don't have to break up Judgment Day yet if you're not going to do that because you got Finn going to be going after Sheamus or whatever. But let them argue. Let that happen. Maybe Roxanne could get in between that. I don't know. But let them get an argument where they can they can advance the storyline a little bit more on there. And then maybe here you'll see maybe Dom is in this 16-man tournament and Finn and JD are not. And maybe that's another point of discontention. Maybe this is a point where they get upset because Dom's in the tournament and they're not. Raquel, I need to see what else she's been doing. She was hella shady to Dom and calling him a habitual cheater, like a hypocrite. but I want to see what else she's going to do. I need to figure out, is she going to be like, is she looking at Dom suspiciously? Is she looking at Roxanne suspiciously? Is she looking out for Roxanne? And if she is looking out for Roxanne, why hasn't she brought up Liv? You see what I mean? There's a whole bunch of different little things here that can be brought up. Is she trying to gather evidence? I brought that up in my video too. Is she trying to wait for more evidence here? And like I said, this may be just how they split up Liv and Raquel, just by having Raquel say, hey, Dom did this with Roxanne, whether he did it or not. And Liv was like, no, I trust my man and not the sister that I've been with these past couple of years. And that's what causes that split. You see what I mean? So we can have that. But I need to see what Raquel needs. I'm going to see what Raquel does and Roxanne does. Roxanne right now looks like she's still firmly on Dom's side. I'm not seeing her turn yet. Raquel looks like she might be leaning more Jade's side, but she's still, I still almost keep her in the middle. Like, yeah, she's being shady to Dom there and doing the whole being a hypocrite, but she's not fully on Finn and JD's side just yet. So I need to see a little bit more from her. And that's it. Hopefully, we do get some more Judgment Day advancement because this has been slow going. But now that we've gotten past Penta and Rusev, Dom gets something else to do. We do need some more, like I said, storyline advancement. And I do think they're finally settling into a pace of what they want to do. But it needs to pick up faster. And that's it.